So, as of 9 a.m. this morning, we got the full set of fixtures announced for the Scottish Premiership, but I just wanted to cover the news for the Week 1 fixtures and the good news, in fact, that Sky are covering 4 of the 6 games from the Scottish Premiership from the first week of fixtures, which we'll get to in a second. In terms of the games themselves for each of the teams, I think overall it's actually, a pretty good set of fixtures. One of the best opening weekends that I've seen overall in terms of matchups between the teams. Starting off with Kilmarnock versus Livingston, of course. Tough return for Livingston to the Premiership, having to go to Rugby Park. New management in place at Kilmarnock, of course, with Stuart Kettlewell, so it'll be very interesting to see how that result pans out. Kilmarnock, of course, have a very, very strong home record. A couple of seasons ago in the opening fixture of the season at Rugby Park, beating Rangers, of course. So it'll be very interesting to see how that one pans out, and if Davy Martindale does employ the new set of tactics that he said he was going to employ with Livingston in the Premiership, trying to play some nice football. On to the first game of the opening weekend that'll be on TV. We've got Motherwell against Rangers. Both teams having new management, of course. Late kickoff on the Saturday as well. Rangers, of course, have not had the best of opening weekends in the past couple of years. They'll be looking to rectify that, but Motherwell will be looking to prevent that from being the case again and having a hat-trick of poor opening fixtures for Rangers in this case, and they'll be looking to get off to a new start under their new management as well. A positive for Motherwell, of course, is that Rangers have a pretty major European tie against Panathinaikos to worry about before then, so they could be slightly fatigued, they could be feeling down depending on the result as well, so we shall see how that one unfolds. Falkirk's return to the Premiership after a long hiatus is at home, of course, for their flag day, and they have their European opponent, the opponents that will be playing some European football in Dundee United, which is also being shown on TV as well, which is great. And it'll be interesting to see how Falkirk adapt to life in the Premiership. A relatively tough task, taking on one of the teams that achieved European football last season. Dundee United, of course, they've lost a couple of key players, so they'll be looking to replace them in the transfer window, I would imagine, as quickly as possible, particularly to get them ready for the European campaign, which of course kicks off before this game as well. So that could play into Falkirk's hands potentially, although their opponents should be very beatable in Europe. On to the only other game that's not being televised, we've got Dundee against Hibs. Of course, Dundee with new management in charge, and Hibs have also got their big European tie against Midtjylland before this game as well, which again could play into Dundee's hands. But Dundee will need to get off to a really good start, I would imagine, because of the somewhat negativity surrounding Stephen Press's appointment. They'll want to try and get off to a good start in this one anyway. But that is the final game that's not on TV for the opening weekend as we go on to Celtic versus St Mirren, the late kick-off on the Sunday, which sees Celtic get off to their league title defence against St Mirren, who of course they played at home on the final game of the season last season, and St Mirren actually took points off them. So St Mirren will be hoping to do the same in the opening game of this season. And we go on to arguably the game of the round, if you like, or game of the week round of fixtures. Hearts versus Aberdeen. Both teams will be vying for a third place finish this season, you would imagine. Hearts, of course, new management in charge. Aberdeen riding off the highs of the Scottish Cup win and bringing in a lot of signings as well, as have Hearts. So it'll be very interesting to see how this fixture goes. Late kick-off on the Monday night, and looking forward to watching all 4 games, and we'll be reacting to all 4 games when they come around. I'm not going to do predictions for how the league fixtures are going to pan out anyway. We've still got a transfer window to go, see how they kick off in the League Cup, how European football has gone for those that will be playing the European football fixtures as well, pre-season as well, to be taken into account. So I'm not going to be making any predictions at the moment. I think that's too early to be doing that. But that's my thoughts on the opening fixtures. I'm pleased with the fact that Sky are picking up 4 of the games. That's great. It's a shame that they probably won't be doing that throughout the whole season, but that is what it is. And I think overall, I think it's an entertaining set of fixtures to be drawn against each other as well. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below. If you are new around here, please consider checking out some of the other content on the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.